Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my garden. Today is Thursday, July 3rd, and I always say this, but time goes by so quickly. June came and went, and I gave you a front yard garden tour the very end of June, and I was hoping to give you a backyard garden tour, um, before July came, but that never happened. So here we are in early July, and I would just love to share with you what my backyard garden is looking like. Things are by no means perfect, but I'm always happy to share. And I am a home gardener. I'm based here in Zone 6B in Western New York, and I just enjoy learning and growing in my garden every day. And if I can share some knowledge with anyone out there in the YouTube world, I'm happy to do that as well. I have a little bit of time this morning. We do have some family coming in from out of town today for the 4th of July holiday. So I wanted to make sure I got outside and, was able to share some of my backyard garden with you before, we get too far into July. So this is a very early July garden backyard tour. We did go through a lot of hot weather, temperatures that were in the 90s with very high humidity for several days here in Western New York. And we also had, we've also had a lot of rain on and off over the past few days. We had some heavy rains overnight, just this past, just overnight last night. And just the last several days, we've had some heavy rains come down, which is always a good thing, especially when it's been so hot. It gets hot, kind of hard to keep up with the watering. Today is a beautiful day. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s or near 80, and partly cloudy. It's looking just beautiful out this morning. It's about 7 a.m. and I love coming out into the garden in the early morning hours because it's still kind of quiet. You can hear the birds really well, and my neighborhood hasn't woken up yet, so it's actually my favorite time to be out in the garden. I'm going to start here on the side of my house. This is my little side cottage garden that I have been creating uh, over the past year, and really more this year with growing cut flowers. I did a lot of winter sowing with perennials and cool annuals, and I planted quite a bit out here in this garden bed, and everything is looking just really nice right now. I have some blue cushion English lavender right here. This here is a bachelor's button. It's called the Bride. They're beautiful. Those were winter sown. I have some more bachelor's button, the Bride. Right here, just behind the blue cushion English lavender, I have some Shasta daisy that is still, shooting up. I haven't seen any bloom stalks appear yet, just a lot of green here. But that's Shasta daisy. I do have some more Bride bachelor's button. This one's not looking as good. It did get a really good watering this morning, so hopefully this one will come back to life a little bit. This one's looking better right next to it. And I also have some bachelor's button blue boy that's kind of spilling out onto the sidewalk, which I think looks really pretty. And some more behind it there. This is my little gold star rudbeckia that's just getting ready to open up. I have two of those. And I have some purple coneflower or echinacea. I noticed my purple coneflower that really reseeded itself in several areas. You can see there's a new one right there, and there's several new ones in this bed. Those are just coming into bloom, and they're just beautiful. This is my clematis Haldine, which I have two here. we're kind of past its peak for blooming. It looked much better in June, but you could see there's a lot of blooms that are spent and gone already. I feel like I could still put a bunch right here. I move kind of slow in my garden at times. This is some salvia, playing the blue salvia. I've never planted playing the blue salvia and heard so many great things about it, and it looks beautiful in pictures. So I definitely wanted to try the playing the blue salvia, and so I planted 2 here. Rockin' playing the blue salvia from Proven Winners. That'll focus for me. Here it goes. Rockin' playing the blue salvia. And just behind that, I think these are my snapdragons. Yes. These are my Orange Wonder snapdragons from Botanical Interest. Yep. Those are still coming up. They're coming up slowly but surely. And I also have some container variety lavender. I have a little container of that over here and another little container over here. And that's from American Seed Company from the Dollar Tree. My Emerald Gaiety Euonymus. And this is a spirea that like reseeded itself from my spirea right here. And actually we thought we pulled it out last year, but it came back. It came back and it actually looks really beautiful. It blooms a pink bloom. In this little container here, I just have some, it was a mix. Let's see what it says. It was a cut flower mix from Botanical Interests. And I just kind of heavily sowed that into a milk jug and then just planted it out in this container. So, oh, there's a ton of different things in here. I don't even remember exactly what was in here, but I'll put the name of the picture of the packet from Botanical Interest. But that's just having, you know, it's blooming a little bit there in that container, which is really nice. And here is my other little patch of coneflower. They've definitely gotten taller this year and have reseeded in different little areas. I do have some more Bachelor's Button Blue Boy. Some of these have flopped, my Bachelor's Button Blue Boy, and behind that I also have in this container there, I believe that is all Shasta Daisy. I'm not quite sure with this one, if this is a weed that's sprouting up. I'm not quite sure. I didn't want to pull it because I wasn't quite sure. But I think I have some more Shasta Daisy that's growing up in that container. And the sun's starting to come up. And everything's looking good in my little cottage garden. All right, let's go into the backyard. The sun is starting to come up, and there's so many little rain droplets all over everything. It's looking beautiful. And this is my generous gardener climbing rose. It had a really beautiful flush already, and I did deadhead, and I did prune a little bit just to kind of clean things up for my company. I wanted things to look nice. You can see there's some new blooms starting. See how this one is looking over here. I don't really have any current blooms here. There's some new growth happening. And this is a little bit of a bloom. Getting ready for a second flush soon. My snow fountain weeping cherry tree. And we're letting it weep. We haven't trimmed it since early spring. Under here I have some Stella de Oro daylilies. And a little bit of a weed in there. It just rained, so let's see if I can pull this out. Oh yeah, that was super easy. That was really nice. Awesome. Let's see if I can pull this one out too. There we go. Ooh. Oh, that one's pretty long. Okay, I see another weed in the middle of the Stella de Oro daylily, and that other one was pretty easy to pull. So let's see if I can pull this one pretty easily as well. Well, of course, that one's not going to be as easy. Oh, woo, failure. All right, I'll have to come back and see what I can do with that later. But you can see just under this snow fountain weeping cherry, I've got my Hicks yew hedge that is getting bigger every year and will eventually touch 2 Stella de Oro daylilies and a little hedge of spirea. There's 3 spirea here. I'll put the variety name up. I can't quite remember what that's not magic carpet. It's a different one. Look at, there's another big weed growing up in here as well. Oh my goodness. Never ending. Oh, did I get it? Huh, almost. Here is Twombly's Red Sentinel Japanese Maple. Getting bigger and looking beautiful. A little spider. You see that little spider? That was very red in the beginning of spring, and now it's kind of turning to a dark maroon color. You can see it's really beautiful, really pretty. I will show you my garden failures as well. This is my emerald green arborvitae hedge, and we mismanaged our watering when we planted this hedge. So I do have a lot of, you know, browned dead foliage on these. This one on the end is looking really bad. We're probably going to have to replace that one. I'm not quite sure about these other ones yet. We cut out some of the dead. I don't know if that will grow back. But we're just going to be working on that. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do there, but that's something that's real life happening in my garden. This is my river birch tree, heritage clump. Really beautiful bark. And I did plant 3 of these Pinka-Blue Palminaria, which they're past their bloom, but you can see they have really interesting foliage. And I just planted these like, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago or so. So they'll probably be sleeping this year, creeping next year, and then leaping the following year. So stay tuned for that. This is the Blue Muffin Viburnum from Proven Winners. Not really doing much right now. It did have a little bit of a white flower that came up in the spring. Not quite sure if this is getting enough sun too, just being kind of underneath this river birch tree, but we can always trim some of those branches to provide more sun as well. But that's the Blue Muffin Viburnum. Just have a little pot of pansies and violas. They're still looking good. Looks like there's my son plays golf. That little yellow ball. This is a Dura Heat River Birch. Little lime hydrangea. Transplanted last year. Still recovering, as you can see. And when I pruned this one, I had a lot of boar damage. A ton of boar damage on this plant. So not quite sure. I actually thought about replacing it with a oak leaf hydrangea because it's a little bit in the shade here. Doesn't get as much sun as I thought it would. So we'll see. Over the Moon Astilbe starting to bloom, shooting up some blooms. Look how beautiful. This is a really pretty plant. And I do have a little bit of an iris there, struggling to do something. And just behind that, I have a Rose of Sharon. I think it's a purple Rose of Sharon. I'll put the exact name up. It's a proven winners variety. So that's very, very new. Just a little birdhouse. I think I got that from Home Sense last year. This is Neon Flash Spirea in full bloom. Looking really beautiful right now. I am having an issue with my dwarf Alberta spruce, all of them in my yard. You can see the brown color. And I know Anne from Martin House Flowers, said check for spider mites. And I think you're right, Anne. Definitely, I think it's spider mites. I do see, not so much right now because we've just had a real heavy rain overnight and yesterday heavy rain. But I did see several little, see if I can find any little red dots. See, I think I can see one right here that are the spider mites. See? And I had a ton of those crawling around. So we're having a real issue here and we need to take care of it. But it's affecting all of my dwarf Alberta spruce this year. I'll show you my window box. And in this window box, I just have, this is actually a proven winner's osteospermum in the center. And I'm not going to remember the name, but I do have the tag right in here. This is the Proven Winners Bright Lights White Osteospermum. It gets 8 to 12 inches tall. And as you can see, I'm using it as a fill or a thriller in this container. And you can see it has some beautiful blooms. Some that have gone out of bloom, but I have been enjoying that as my thriller. And I also have some vinca in here. And what else do I have in here? I also have some Super Bells yellow chiffon in here and also a wave petunia on the other side. I don't know if you can see that wave petunia on the other side with some violas. And that's what I did in this window box this year. The same thing on the other side. I have my neon flash spirea. Really pretty. Beautiful bright pink. And this really has gotten big this year, this spirea. And see how wide. And we do like to trim them every year. And my window box. Same thing on the other side. I have the osteospermum in the center. You can see I do have to deadhead some of those. And the Super Bells Yellow Chiffon by Proven Winners. And I think I have another wave petunia on that other side. And there is a viola and some vinca. This is the petunia I have, Easy Wave Rose Fusion. This is Black Magic Bachelor's Button, also winter sown, and just underplanted with some violas. That gets pretty tall, but it's been beautiful in this container. My coral bell is looking beautiful, starting to shoot up some little flowers. This is my hydrangea. I have two of these hydrangea here. These bloom on old and new wood. I don't know why the name isn't coming to me, but oh gosh, it'll come to me. You can see just from feeding the birds, you get a lot of things that start to grow. Just kind of annoying, but I try to keep up with it, try to, pick them out. This is another container that I did. This is the Proven Winners Curly Whirly Grass. This is Proven Winners Blue Artist Azuratum, which I really love. This is a Vinca vine, and I'm going to forget, let's see. This is a Super Bells. What's it called? Let's see, what's it called? Super Bells Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa that I also have in here. I love purple, as I know many people do. My green giant, Dweja green giant. I planted this new rose. It's an Heirloom Roses rose, Summer Romance. Just planted in the last month, right late spring. So it's just getting started. This little hydrangea here is from my niece. It's just like a grocery store hydrangea, so I don't have a name for it. Had it in a pot for a while, and it's starting to bloom and look pretty. The Ivory Halo Red Twig Dogwood is looking beautiful. And here's my cat's pajamas. Just planted those in the last month as well. And I planted them out and then I cut them back, so they're just starting to bloom for me again. Really beautiful. And this is the Crimson Century Norway maple tree. I'm back onto the camp of not liking this tree. I don't think it's the right tree for this spot. but we have it here now. Probably do something with that in the fall. Mr. Bowling Ball Arborvitae, looking good, getting full. And this is Fat Albert Blue Spruce. I did plant another rose over here. This is also Heirloom Roses. This is Earth Angel, just planted. Again, very recently. So I do see some new red growth coming up. So that one's just gonna, it'll take some time for it to get established, but I'm excited to have some roses in my garden. And just beyond that, you can see that is a white rose of Sharon. And I got this from my mom's neighbor last year and planted it out. I've had two that I planted. I don't think the other one survived. So I think that'll look really pretty between these blue spruce trees. Look at this contrast of color. Wow. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. This is a Crimson Cutie Barberry. Looking really pretty at this time, starting to fill out. My Vanderwolf pine tree. Let's come down here and I'll show you my allium. Wow, I was really blown away by these. My first time planting allium bulbs, and oh my goodness, they are like just like jewelry in the garden. It's garden jewelry. It just reminds me kind of like a beautiful brooch or like a really decorative hairpin. Oh, they're gorgeous. Now, I don't know if I like exactly where I have them placed, but I can always, rearrange those. They did have kind of, their foliage when they start coming up. I didn't think that looked great, but then after a while, I did remove the foliage at the bottom. But they're just so beautiful. I think my husband really liked them too. These are the Gladiator. Did I say that already? These are the Gladiator Allium. Wow. Just really, I mean, and they last so long. They're just like pieces of art. And, it's funny how I've seen them in other people's gardens. I always wanted to try them, but um, until you see it up close, I don't think you can really appreciate, just how beautiful they are. Even when they start to yellow and brown, I know some people spray paint them, and that's kind of cool. I think I saw Anne from Martin House Flowers, and I think you put them as kind of a thriller in one of your pots, which I thought was really unique and creative and cool. I love that. So, you could do different things with them. I just am loving how they're looking right now, just on their own, just decorative in my garden. I just did a little container here with, this is Proven Winners Luscious Royale Cosmo Lantana. That is a really beautiful lantana. I had it last summer and it was gorgeous. I also have, this is a Proven Winners variety as well. I'm going to remember the name. I do have it over here. Yep, this is the Proven Winners Supertunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid Petunia Hybrid. Look at that. And I have those. petunias here as well. I also have some diamond frost euphorbia, and this will start to, grow and look luscious. I'm going to be fertilizing it every week. I just started that last week, and I also have an ornamental grass from my front yard. I like to do that. That's one of my garden hacks for thrillers. You can just take a little clump of your ornamental grass and stick it in your pot, and it grows and becomes a really beautiful thriller throughout the summer season and into the fall. I really think that's a good garden hack because you don't have to, be spending money all the time on thrillers. You can just grab what you have in your own garden. And I'll put the name up of this. I forget the name of this one. It's from my front yard, like I said. Get the sun shining down on those allium too. That's beautiful. This is another ornamental grass. I do have another container here, similar to the one by my shed with the curly whirly grass. Curly whirly grass right here, the artist blue azuratum, and the super bells. Everything kind of got rained on, so it's not looking as perky. And Winkavine, we needed the rain though. We've had such hot days recently. And I did plant another rose here, another Heirloom Roses rose, and I will put the name up. I want to say it was called like Enchanted Extravaganza. I'll make sure to put the name up. But 3 new roses, which is very exciting. This is a summerific hardy hibiscus. I have 2 of them. I'll make sure to put the variety down. I think this was a rose mallow. I'll put the variety name down there from Proven Winners. I also have another one down here starting to come up. Some more Ivory Halo dogwood, being really lovely. And this is the original hydrangea. This is Endless Summer Original Hydrangea that blooms on old wood and starting to look really nice. I can see I can go in and prune back those old stems, which I haven't done yet. See, you don't want to prune them. So what I do is just wait until it comes up, and then I'll just cut back what's left. Here's another beautiful dogwood. You can see how humongous that dogwood is. I love this one. I always said it looks like you can lay down and take a nap in this dogwood, and that's how I feel when I look at it. I just want to like plop onto it and take a nap. We've got our pool all ready to go. We've been enjoying the pool this year. In fact, I think I'm going to turn on the vacuum. And some beautiful emerald green arborvitae. These are looking so much better than the ones on the other side. These have always looked beautiful here, and you can see they're getting bigger, and before we know it, I'm not even going to be able to see my neighbor's yard there. It's going to be a closed green wall hedge, which will be nice. Autumn Joy sedum. starting to come up and bloom. And this is just more river birch tree. Or a heat river birch tree. Forsythia. Big clump of green over here. I've got to clean up some sticks here underneath the river birch tree. See how much, a lot of sticks have dropped, branches. And I do have a Brunnera here, Jack Frost Heartleaf Brunnera. I believe this is pretty good. And I've got a couple of hostas back there. I do have another Rose of Sharon right here. I don't know if this is the most ideal spot for this Rose of Sharon, but it has been there. We'll see how it does this year. And we're just going to finish up on this side, my little lime hydrangea. Everything is greening up and looking beautiful. Some birds flying around. My candy mint crabapple tree this morning. And this is one of the hostas that I absolutely love. This is the little mouse ears hosta. Isn't it adorable? I love the mini hostas. And it's just putting up its purple blooms. They're like little cabbages with little purple blooms that shoot up. And I have several here in this bed. And I really, really love them. Some more Stella de Oro daylilies and spirea. This is Blondie Winter Creeper, euonymus. And we're almost done here. This is a lemon cypress. I just brought in from, it's been inside. You can see it got quite a bit of water with that rain. It's got some browning happening there, but hopefully it'll do okay. It's been inside in my dining room since, last fall when I brought it in. And I know it loves the sun, so brought it outside here. I did plant some ballerina zinnia from Johnny's seed. Right back here, there's just a clump of ballerina zinnia that will be coming up. And let me show you my raised garden bed here and what I have planted this year. Don't you just love the look of the green sprouts coming up all neatly in a row? I know I do. This is my last winter sowing jug. I waited on these. This is a perennial grass. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that little feather plume. Let's see if I can get a close-up on that. Looks like a little feather. This is the blue grandma grass. And this took quite a while to come up. It's from Botanical Interests. And I am going to be putting it in a container very soon. But I wanted to wait until it was nice and lush. And I really love how it's looking. These are some forget-me-nots from American Seed that I have growing up against the trellis arch here. Forget-me-nots. In the center, I have the teddy bear. It's the sunflower, teddy bear, dwarf sunflower from Botanical Interests. I have a whole row of those. The Botanical Interest teddy bear, dwarf sunflower. So I am excited to see those come up. And then I do have some Benary's Giant Lime in here. It's going to get pretty big. And some ballerina zinnia towards the end here. What do I have back here? More ballerina zinnia. More ballerina zinnia right here. And let's go around to the other side. Those forget-me-nots, how pretty. I have Benary's Giant White over here. So these are all Benary's Giant White. And then just over on my table, I just have some pots here with some Diamond Frost Euphorbia that'll fill in nicely. This is a coleus called Marble that could tolerate sun, from what I recall, because it's getting sun. Definitely some good morning sun. And some more Diamond Frost Euphorbia that's filling out nicely in that container there. This white clematis is blooming beautifully. Isn't that pretty? I do have an osteospermum in here, which you can see is right here, and it doesn't look like it's shooting up any blooms at the moment, but it will. There's some vinca vine in here. You can see I still have some pansies. No need to get rid of them. And some violas. If they're looking good, for me, they're looking good, so I leave them. And I do have a Proven Winners Petunia, Supertunia Jazzberry. That's what this one is, Supertunia Jazzberry. Oh, here's some osteospermum. This one is really pretty. I can't remember. I'll put the name up, or if I have my little tags in there. I think it was like Purple Zion, something like that. Let's see if I can find it. And here is, okay, let me tell you what I have here. So the osteospermum, Zion Copper Amethyst osteospermum. So that one was this one right here. Supertunia Jazzberry, my white clematis that I do not know the name of there. Like I said, some pansies and violas. And I also have this osteospermum on the other side called Pink Magic. That was the one that wasn't throwing up any blooms at the moment, but it's Pink Magic. Serenity Pink Magic osteospermum. I also have a Diamond Frost Euphorbia in here somewhere. And I also have Super Bell's Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa in here as well. That's where the Pink Magic was. That's not shooting up any blooms at the moment. And here's the Super Bell's Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa. This is my privet hedge here. And I'm just going to show you my containers by the back sliding door. I think Lucy wants to come out, so I'll let her come out first. You want to come out, Luce? Do you want to join us? Come on out. Come on out. Good girl. Oh, I do have some poppies here as well. These were from American Seed. I think they were the golden, what's it called? California Poppy Extra Golden from American Seed. And they were blooming. I did transplant them. I had overplanted my milk jug, and I did transplant them right into this container because I was afraid to put them directly into the ground. I thought I'd lose them. So they did bloom, a yellow bloom. You can see there is another bloom kind of starting here, and I'm sure I think they'll continue to bloom. I don't know that much about poppies, but they're looking green and good and healthy. And these are just my containers by the back sliding door. This is mostly a shade area. This is Proven Winners Color Blaze Golden Dreams Coleus. And this is a dark pink Riga begonia. It's called like Netja, Netja, I think it is, Netja. Netja dark pink Riga begonia. And I also have a Creeping Jenny here. Lizamachia Creeping Jenny. And I do have another coleus here, but I don't know what I did with that tag. For some reason, it wasn't in my container. This is not a Proven Winners variety. It may not have come with a tag because I put all my tags in there, and I know not everything came with a tag. So that was from a local nursery as well. It's a beautiful coleus. Really beautiful color there. I love the chartreuse margin on that leaf. Well, thanks for coming along with me today as I took you through my June garden. I hope you're all doing well and that you're enjoying your gardens in your neck of the woods, wherever you might be. Lucy's barking at the pool vacuum. And anyways, I enjoy learning and growing in my garden every day. Luce. And I certainly enjoy sharing it with you. I will see you all very soon. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.